bureau I have.
Betty Raymond, child support.
Hello. Hello. All right, so we're here for a show cause hearing. I have in front of me a proposed uniform enforcement order that was issued, provided by the division. Did Mr. have a copy of this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what would you like me to know?
Okay, good morning, Your Honor. This is a child support case that we opened in 2023. $217 per week plus an additional $18 per week on the OER. Last payment the division received was in September 2025. As of today's date, Mr. Arthur owes $13,764.39. I never have anything to do with him. I don't know his number. I don't call him. He doesn't call me. I don't know where he's working. This morning, after I met with him, he told me that he's working. He gives me the name of the employer, but I don't have an address. And so he owes $13,000 plus dollars. So I am requesting that he pay $5,000 today. And the mother of the child is here, and she would like to talk to you.
Okay. Raise your right hand, please. You swear the information you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on the things and penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. You'd like me to know?
Good morning. I just wanted to put together a few expenditures that I have because I do have sole financial responsibility for our daughter at this point. At this time, I pay $2,189 in daycare a month. For insurance, I pay $129 a month. I pay $800 in rent, $200 for a car payment, $75 for a phone payment. For groceries, I spend around $500 a month. I would say $250 for things as far as diapers, wipes, pull-ups, for both our home and for daycare because nothing is included in daycare costs. Which brings us just over $4,100 a month that I'm solely providing for our daughter and have been for almost a year now.
Anything else you want me to know? Okay. So I'll turn to you, raise your right hand. You swear any information you provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on the pains and penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. What would you like me to know, sir, about your ability to pay and?
Well, I would like to respectfully object for the record to any of these proceedings as jurisdiction hasn't been established. As under what I'm already litigating in the federal court is that the timing of the child was actually fraudulently brought to the court that changed jurisdiction and venue in the underlying matter, and that it was nothing but false allegations and accusations led against me, that I have been unable to litigate in the underlying order that was reproduced off of fraud upon the court, which I am currently litigating in not only the federal district court, the First Circuit Appellate Court, and I've also filed a writ of prohibition in the state of New Hampshire that their next sitting won't be until May 7th. So I'm just objecting because the underlying order's jurisdiction is in dispute in another form. On top of which, there can be no analysis if the order in itself is based on fraud and it didn't have jurisdiction to even establish that order.
How did the Derry Family Division not have jurisdiction? They issued an order, there was a hearing.
Because
And they issued an order. Did you file an appeal of that order to the Supreme Court?
that's what I am in the federal court litigating right now, and I'm also into the state of the New Hampshire Supreme Court, which I have a copy of my filing if you would like to look at.
No, sir, you're filing, if you were going to challenge the ruling of the court based on fraud, it needed to be done in the Derry Family Division.
Well,
And if you didn't appeal that order when it was issued, you needed to file a motion to reconsider, and if that was denied, then you needed to file a notice of appeal, you needed to file appeal. So the Derry Family Division had jurisdiction, that's the home jurisdiction of the child. So the Derry Family Division had jurisdiction to issue family court orders, to issue a child support order, and they did that. And your remedy, if you were unhappy with those orders, was to file an appeal with the New Hampshire Supreme Court in the Derry Family Division ruling. That wasn't done. So now you're trying to go to a different venue and just delay these proceedings. which is your right to do, you can file whatever you want, but that doesn't stay the Dairy Family Division's order. The Dairy Family Division order is an order, and it's enforceable. And the Bureau has the duty to enforce under 161B3. They have to enforce this order. So I don't understand your jurisdictional argument. It's not holding water with this court.
So that's where I'm objecting to, because it's not just the order, it is the jurisdiction that the court used to bind me as the party, saying that they have personal jurisdiction, which was a fraudulent claim in the matter. So not only is it not appeal of the order, but I'm appealing that the fraud upon the court that actually the court used to try to obtain jurisdiction is what I'm litigating in another form already.
Okay, so assuming that's the case and that you're litigating in another forum, I just told you that doesn't stay the obligation you have under the orders of the Dairy Family Division.
That's what I'm
So
asking
you
the
still
court
have
to
to
do,
pay.
is to stay that order until jurisdiction can actually be proven and that it wasn't ascertained on fraud.
Until anything is decided in another court, the ruling of the dairy court stands. They had jurisdiction, they issued the orders, the state has a duty to enforce those orders. Anything you're filing in federal court or in other courts doesn't stay the order. So you have a duty to pay, and you haven't paid, so how much can you pay today?
I still want my objection noted to the jurisdiction of the order, and that even if I agree to have a payment, it does not alleviate the fact that it still could be based on fraud. And any seizure of my property, even through this proceeding, would be based on a fraudulent order without jurisdiction.
You're welcome to place your objection on the record. I disagree with your analysis, and the order needs to be enforced. These children need to be provided for, and they're going to be. So back to my question, the state wants you to pay $5,000 today or be held. This is a show cause hearing. You were on notice that in the event you didn't comply, you could be held with bail set and the money turned over for child support when it's paid. So how much can you pay today?
Well, I was out of work, like, I remember her name there, but she stated, I was out of work, I worked construction, some winters are really good, some winters are really bad. So I lost work for several months. I just started working again about a month ago. I've saved everything I can, and I have about $1,500 that I can do today, and I will continue to pay going forward from here. I was waiting for this, obviously this hearing, to get my objection on the record. And I will pay going forward while I continue to litigate other cases to prove that there is fraud and the whole payment is based on fraud, the alleged fraud from the other party, and that there was no jurisdiction in the other court.
You're free to do that, but in the meantime,
Yes, sir.
$1,500 paid today, immediately downstairs.
Yes, sir.
And then you'll continue to make your child support obligation plus the arrears going forward.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, Your Honor, but I was hoping to get that $5,000 today because he hasn't paid for a long time,
I
and
know.
like she said, she's got a lot going on with the child.
She
So,
does.
even if he does come up with that $1,500 now, maybe by tomorrow.
We're gonna pay the $1,500 today, and we're gonna see how he does with his payments going forward. If he doesn't make his payments plus the arrears,
Yes.
according to this order, at the next show cause hearing, obviously the number will go up, or others. This is the first time this person's been in front of me.
Yes, sir.
And you know that oftentimes is the case where repeat offenders are treated more harshly than first time. Sometimes the first time person doesn't understand what a show cause hearing is all about or what the ramifications are for non-compliance. But $1,500 today I think will help Mom. All right, and then continued payments going forward will help Mom. We'll schedule another show cause hearing to make sure of compliance. And then we can address more arrears at the next show cause hearing,
Yes.
okay?
Thank you.
Can I have one more thing, John? Is there any way that I can pay on like the first of every month instead of every week?
No, you're gonna pay pursuant to the child support order, which is weekly.
Okay.
And that goes through the Bureau, so it'll be tracked, so everyone will know how much you paid. So $1,500 immediately, all right, downstairs. And then we're gonna have said May when?
May 22nd.
May 26th.
That's gonna be $225 per week, Your Honor.
$225 a week,
235.
$235.
With this payment being made today, will my license be reinstated?
You have a position on that?
I will discuss that with my supervisor, more likely yes, but I have to discuss that with my supervisor.
Okay. All right. But be it known, and we're having another show cause hearing in a month,
Yes, Your Honor.
and they still have the ability to remove it again.
Yes, Your Honor.
But, I mean, we want it to work, we want it to make the payments.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the goal here. So,
I will, yes, I will be sending the driver license today, but you need to pay $100 against statement fee. I'll take care of that sometimes when I get home, and she will say, you need to call the DMV maybe around 1:30.
all right, that concludes the hearing, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.